Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Butcher's Circus, and today I'm gonna be playing with the Immortal Musketeer. That's right, it's been too long, or, definitely not long enough since we've last seen this team on the channel, because, as we all know, this is this is one of the most unfun teams to play against in the Butcher's Circus. Mr. D immediately says, I can surrender, yeah, because he does not want to play against this. No one wants to. Literally no one wants to play against this team. And why is that? Is the team that strong? Is it WD levels of strong that are just gonna win every single match? Not exactly. It's definitely a very strong team, but its main attribute, its main strength isn't just like win, 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 win. Its main strength is being so goddamn annoying to play against because it's so tanky and it grinds you down. It's really a very unique way of playing the Butcher Circus, and a unique way that some people do enjoy. Thankfully not a lot of them, or else the ladder definitely wouldn't be a very fun place to be in. Less fun than it is right now, because the ladder can be a fun place to be in, especially when there's no, not a lot of people that are darkest and just try-harding every single match. It used to be kind of like that. Thankfully, people are kind of moving away from it, playing more meme teams, experimenting a little bit more, playing some more like novelties and stuff of the like, so that's definitely a good thing to hear. So I wasn't actually planning on playing the Immortal Musketeer today, but since my laptop screwed me over, I'm screwing over my laptop by forcing it to run this on its motherboard and, the GPU and all that nasty stuff. And how did it screw you over? Well, for some reason my number lock was once again off, which meant that I couldn't, I did the recording, but the recording wasn't actually going, so I pretty much spent like 20 minutes talking to a screen without anyone to listen. Listen to what you do. Isn't that what you do already, Shep? No, it's different. It's different, I promise. I'm also technically alone talking to a screen, but I don't see it that way since I'm recording and since eventually people will listen to what I'm saying, right? It's interesting actually thinking about it. I don't really tend to think about that too much, but yeah, basically my recording was non-existent, so I've had to do something different, and since I didn't feel like playing Stress WD again, well, you get Immortal Musketeer, because I wanted to stick it to Mr. T just a little bit, stick it to him just a touch. Well, right now I'm actually gonna guard the Flagellant here, and I must say, I've said this for every single Immortal Musketeer video, that for the Chinese community people watching, I am not the best player of this team. Absolutely not. Y'all are, especially Tiger Finger Man. Y'all are the best ones with this team. I am just a dabbler in it. That's absolutely what I am, because there's so many freaking intricate details of this team, so many things that you can do that are just considered better plays compared to what I actually do. That's what I feel like happens whenever I play this team. People always, the Chinese community players always seem to criticize like every single little minute detail. Oh, in this move you should have gone for this instead of that, and that would have allowed you to do that instead of whatever. It's very intricate how you actually play this team, but I must say, I'm playing against Grave Robbers, so this isn't actually a very good matchup whatsoever. I'm playing against Grave Robber against Riposte Man-at-Arms. This is actually really bad. I just realized how quite terrible this is. Well, I guess I have to somehow win, regardless of how poor this matchup is looking like, but at the very least, there is no way for my opponent to actually kill my Flagellant while I'm guarding, apart from the Antiquarian's Festering Vapors, which is unlikely to hit and very unlikely to kill as well, because of the Last Breath Collar, and I have to be at this store, which I won't voluntarily put myself at this store and just leave myself there. If push comes to shove, I'll probably just drop a heal with the Musketeer and just call it a day. I have a lot of anti-stress here. My opponent has very small amounts of stress output, so if I do lose this, it's going to be from the DOT, I imagine. The DOT and the riposte damage. I don't imagine myself losing to the, what do you call it, to the stress output here. There's just a Grave Robber, which does do a decent amount of stress, but since she doesn't have the Satchel of Dirty Tricks, she's not going to be doing that much. And that is if she hits, which, you know, she does. I don't have that much dodge, honestly. It's the Immortal Musketeer. You have a decent amount of dodge, but it's definitely not, no, it's definitely nothing special. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop a Reclaim here. The one risk that I am taking by clicking the Flashbomb right now is that if my opponent gets particularly lucky and goes for Festering Vapors and somehow does 2 damage to my 40 prot Flash, I will have quite a difficult time right after that, but I'm hoping that's not the case. Yeah, I'm really hoping that's not what happens, because if they get that, they get to go first next round, and since they get to go first, I would have to heal right now with my Musketeer. I'd have to heal the Flash, which I really don't want to do. I want to heal myself. So there's that situation. Also kind of in a difficult spot because the Panic Dart spam on my Musketeer will be difficult to deal with because I'm kind of trying to guard the Flashbomb. But if I'm guarding the Flashbomb, I can't guard the Musketeer. And if I can't guard the Musketeer, she gets focused down. And she's the one character that really doesn't like getting focused down on this team. Mostly because she... Ooh, nice. Crit heal for 10, I'll take it. Mostly because... Yeah, of course. There is justice in this role, but the crit heal for 10 gets immediately paid back to me with a pass for 18, and still a miss, even though I have an extra 40 accuracy. You know, what can you do? Yeah, she's the one character that kind of has the worst amount of minus stress and the worst amount of tankiness, because, you know, she's technically a squishy character, is what you could call her, but she does have 39 HP, so calling her squishy is kind of wrong. You know, it's not completely correct. So I have only done 28 stress? Jesus Christ, this is going to be a difficult one. This is going to be a very difficult one. Well, I'm going to drop a ranging shot here because I need to hit my opponent, and if I have to save the Musketeer, it will likely be just with a Redeem. I feel like I have to drop the Redeem here sooner rather than later and just keep spamming the Beast Spile and hope that eventually it does work. I have plus 50 accuracy right now, so if it doesn't work, I'm gonna be really pissed. And also 16 crit chance, 77... Oh, come on, dude. Another crit repast. How am I supposed to win matches if this happens? There really is justice in this world. I play Immortal Musketeer and I immediately start losing. In terms of the RNG, you know, the repulse chance is nice. We all know Shield Spike is a very powerful trinket, but it's not that great. It's just good. Yeah, what can I do? Well, here's one thing I can do. I can go ahead and maybe drop another guard there, or change the guard. I think I have to change the guard here. I'm gonna change the guard to the Musketeer and, you know, just let my Flashhunt be somewhat focused down. I'll try to heal the Flashhunt with the Musketeer and maybe make use of his extra death blow resistance and also all of his heals to keep spamming the Beast Spile, hopefully get Afflictions going, and after the Afflictions I can somehow win here. That's what I'm trying to do. If it will work, I'm not entirely sure, but, you know, I have to give it a try. Actually goes for the Retribution here on the Flashhunt. A little bit premature, honestly. Kind of a misplay by Mr. D, I'd feel. Because now I have every justification to go for the heal here, and oh, 24, okay, that's pretty good. That's generally pretty good, and after that I can go ahead and drop Reclaims or Suffers or whatever I want. If you go for the Festering Vapors here, you get hit by the repulse. Thing is, the damage doesn't really matter because she has regen and I'm not gonna hit her too much, but the stress will matter. Okay, maybe the damage does matter a little bit. Also, the damage buff is really freaking good because if you try hitting to the Abomination now, with the damage buff and with the current trinket that he has, the Spiked Chain repulse is actually really gonna hurt from now on, so that's very, very welcome. I could drop a Suffer on there, I could also drop a Reclaim. Also drop a Suffer there. All of the characters need healing. This is the Immortal Musketeer experience, and things aren't going too well for you. All the characters need healing. Well, I'm gonna go for the Musketeer because she's the one that's actually dropping to Death Star, and I wouldn't want that to happen. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that, and hope that things turn out a little bit better for me. So yesterday I played WD, right, or a very aggressive style of WD with the Grave Robber and the Jester. Today is a completely opposite video. Today is gonna be myself and Mr. D just grinding down. And honestly, this is really bad for Mr. D because he should be asleep. I believe it is quite late for him. And tomorrow is a Monday, so you know what can you do about it? But I'm very sorry in advance, Mr. D. I didn't want to do this to you. Now I'm gonna. I said I didn't want to do this, but I voluntarily picked Immortal Musketeer, so I did want to do this to him. Why did I even pick this team? Am I just feeling sadistic tonight? I don't know. Because picking Immortal Musketeer isn't just feeling sadistic either, it's feeling sadistic and masochistic, because not only do you have to force someone to play against it, which is very sadistic, you have to play with it yourself, which is also not a lot of fun, to say the very least. But okay, there's a pick to the face crit on my man-at-arms, which is almost enough to bring me down to 0, but not quite, thankfully. And I think that I would love to go for the Beast Smile right now, but it wouldn't really work out too well for me, so I'm gonna transform and go for the Slam here. Hopefully get a push. Oh, I do get a push, actually. I was already about to say no justice, like, I had it on the tip of my tongue. The no justice was about to slip out from my lips, but thankfully it didn't, and I do get to push on the flashlight right there. That's gonna do 1 damage, isn't it? Yes, it will. Okay. Well, how do I want to handle it then? He's definitely gonna go Retribution for the kill if I give him a chance to, so I suppose I will click here and go for a Redeem on the character. Ooh, crit 10, I like it. And who do I want to drop the Redeem on, though? Let's go for the Man-at-Arms, right? He's the character that really needs the healing, so let's do that. Heal ourselves for 34, and just take it from there. I could have risked the 5%. I definitely could have risked the 5%, and then the Musketeer would go for the heal after the 5% was risked. I feel like Tiger Fingerman would do that, but I'm honestly okay with this, and I will just try to drop the V-Spell. I think what Mr. D should do right now is maybe even move back with the Man-at-Arms. It's generally not a bad play. Moving back with the Man-at-Arms and then going Shadow Fate, because you do want to prevent my V-Spell from being dropped completely unpunished, and that's exactly what he does. We are in sync right now, we absolutely are. Now in this situation I could go for a preemptive heal, or I could drop yet another ranging shot. I'm gonna drop the ranging shot just to keep the stress down and to give myself accuracy. Very important numbers of accuracy right now. It's gonna be a punish on the Abomination, which is definitely annoying, but you know, there's nothing I can do about it, and almost enough to bring me down to 0, but not actually quite enough. I have an extra 40 accuracy here, so I'm hoping that my stun does hit. I will not go Beast Smile, that's very suicidal. I could go for the stun on the Flash, that's an idea, but... okay, I do land it on the Grave Robber, that's very helpful. Actually getting the stun on her means she won't be able to go Shadow Fate just yet. The damage won't matter, but at least she won't be able to do an action here, which I'm very happy about. Yeah, I definitely should have risked the 5%. I definitely should have done that. I guess that's misplay number 1 of the match. At least the one that I do catch up on, because if I had gone for that, he would be forced to go Retribution and stay in position 1, which he wouldn't want to do anyway. So I definitely should have gone for it, but, you know, I didn't, so now I have to suffer the consequences of my actions. And that means that I have to drop the heal here on the Abomination. He already has the Store Recovery now, so that's 2 characters with that Store Recovery, actually. The Flagellant doesn't get affected by the Store Recovery, obviously, because he's a Flagellant and he's broken, he doesn't play by the rules. We have dealt... how much stress have we dealt? Well, 34... 46 and 53 and an extra 24. We've dealt almost 80 stress total. That's pretty much a Houndsary with a crit. That's the amount of stress that we've dealt. Kind of insane how the Butcher's Circus works, huh? Kind of completely insane. Well, I guess I need to do a bell or two then if I wanna do some stress here. I don't feel like guarding the Musketeer at the moment would be the smartest move, because the Grave Robber isn't really in a position to do anything about my Musketeer right now, so let's just do this. If you're wondering why I'm not going Suffer and I'm going Reclaim instead, it's mostly because you should Reclaim before Suffer. You should Reclaim, and then when they've stacked up a lot of DOT, then you Suffer. That's what you should technically do with the Flagellant here. with the Immortal Musketeers. I didn't really get that concept when I started playing this team. That was definitely the biggest source of, you know, why is my team dying? Why is it when I play against this team, it feels like I just can never kill it, but when this team is played, when I play against this team, I can never kill it, but when I play this team, I feel like it's constantly dying, and that was the biggest reason, I believe. Well, I will not get to go first, which is unfortunate. I could drop yet another battle here just to maybe help me a touch, and I will drop another battle. That means that there's probably going to be a panic darts being dropped onto the Musketeer by the start of next round, which isn't too great, but I feel like I really need to get an affliction or two going here. Also, I keep missing even with command buffs and ranging shot buffs, but you know, I guess that's enough value for me. I have completely forgot to mention the trinkets, but the Flagellant has Gauntlet of Absolution, as you do. He also has Last Breath Collar, which is the setup that I do prefer on the Immortal Musketeer. This is the setup that I like the most. I like it mostly because of the extra healing received on the Flagellant, which is really cool, and because against damage teams you can actually guard with your men-at-arms and you're unlikely to be stunned. Quite unlikely. I mean, with 2 stun resistance trinkets, you'd hope to not be stunned, right? You'd hope to at the very least, but you know how the Butcher's Circus is. We all know how the Butcher's Circus is. I think I'm gonna go ahead and drop... Ooh. Just barely drop a heal there on the Abomination. I'm not doing this on purpose, I'm thinking and commentating at the same time, so those two kind of tend to get in the way of each other every now and then, but you know, what can I do about it? And right now I will probably still want to risk the 5%, right? Yeah, I feel like I have to risk it at some point. This is probably going to be it. I'm going to risk the 5% to, I don't know, do what? Drop a Suffer? Drop a Suffer on there, Suffer into Beast Smile, is that going to be my move? Punish the Men-at-Arms for there being no regen the past couple rounds. I think that's going to be my move here. There's no world where I drop another heal right now. I have to drop a Suffer here, get rid of all that DOT, risk the 5%, so be it. What can I do about it? One thing that will happen is the Men-at-Arms will have less damage after dropping the Retribution twice, if he does damage. That is a big if. Mr. D says, nah man, come on, 5%. You don't do damage, you don't do damage. Oh crap, he does do damage. He does do damage. Oh lord. Oh wait, he has Pick to the face with Shadow Fade. Was that the best play, Shepherd Doggy? Maybe not. Maybe not the best play right now. I think I might have thrown this match just when it was about to get good. He actually has Shadow Fade, I completely forgot about it. Come on, 87 death blow resistance. I am praying right now. There's no... Oh! And surrender. You know, sometimes you misplay horribly and you lose matches. Even if you're Shepherd Doggy, even if you've been playing the Witcher Circus for 3 years, it still happens. You can still lose matches. Basically, purely based on your own mistakes. Who would have guessed humans making mistakes? Yeah, no one could have guessed that happen. Mr. D says greed, so much greed, my friend. Yeah, I was very greedy there. I was greedy at the wrong time. That's what happened to me. But you know, there is justice in this world, and thankfully the Immortal Musketeer doesn't rise up to take over the meta, because when that did happen in what I think was the second tournament, god, it was horrible. Imagine trying to commentate during a live stream for 40 minutes on the exact same thing and do that like 3 times in a row. It was difficult. It was difficult for me to do that, but you know, it was still quite an enjoyable experience, and I hope this was still an enjoyable experience, even if you're not the biggest fan of Immortal Musketeer. I do hope you enjoyed it being slam dunked by Mr. D's shenanigans. So anyway, hope you all enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you again another time. Cheers.